Hey guys, welcome to another episode. So, I thought finally, it's time. I should make a Bombardier. Right now, we got 0.70 coming out, so that's what I was pretty much waiting for. Pretty much the promises of the updates were that things would become more difficult. Every class would kind of get a specialization of some sort. And not like, you know, the Bombardier or, oh wow, I suck at throwing these. But instead some deep stat changes. So like crit formulas, armor piercings, all these little things. Okay, that's kind of interesting. The puddles don't show up on the door tile, but it looks like the poison still works, so that's pretty cool. I remember people saying that the acid was like really bad and they didn't like it. So what they did is they'd buy like a fire potion right off the bat. And I was gonna do that, but honestly, this doesn't seem too bad, and I did try this out on, what is it? I don't have my key bindings all set up. Alright. I did try it on multiplayer just to kind of see if the character would crash. Kind of went through, and it seemed pretty good for multiplayer because, well, things had a lot more health, so since this seems to be like a percentage of their health, I think it's like 1/11 of their health gets deducted every second that they're poisoned. I actually thought, well, that's pretty good for multiplayer. Some classes have it pretty tough, like archers and stuff. So I'm probably going to try this character somewhat standard. It's kind of a shame in a way because some players like Chara on the Discord, he pretty much has the build that I want to use. I think there might be like a couple slight differences in the perks that we want. But pretty much, yeah, it's just like we want tankiness, the Master Caster, because that allows your potion spell damage to have a higher accuracy. So that one seems like a no-brainer. But yeah, really, it's just all defensive stats. I was thinking maybe like max health, or mana. That's about the only thing I could really change. But other than that, I guess the main thing is just to see if the class works. See if how it balances out near the mid and the end game. Some people have been saying that, you know, Diablo is impossible, this and that. You know, at the very start, Bombardier was really, really OP. You could use like a blade in the same hand as a bomb, or I guess a potion. Whoops. But not anymore. So that's my hope. Just try it out, see how OP it is mid to late game, and that's that. It's a little annoying. I won't say it's like super annoying, but it's a little annoying to have damage be done consistently like that. You have to hear them take the damage. I am playing this a little bit differently from a standard hack and slash champion or a mage where I'm playing really defensively at the start. I think it just does well if I can get a big crowd of enemies and you know, take them all down at once. Just seems like the right play to do. I may not be defensive enough to be doing that though. That or it's just the archers. Well, let's try those ones out. Yeah, from what I can see on the Discord, most people seem to think the fire ones are very good comparatively to the other ones, just the fire or lightning ones that make like a 9-ring explosion. So I don't think I'll actually like those ones just because immunities are kind of in the way. It's not that I hate swapping weapons, but it's really not as fluent as swapping spells for a mage. So what? Oh yeah, I think that it can't actually deal damage on the square that it lands on. There's a lot of new mechanics too that... shoot, I keep using that. My keyboard's not set up properly. But there's little things. You used to be able to chuck them over walls. That's been since changed. I guess it was a little bit on the just broken side. Not probably super OP because, you know, rooms don't always exist, but, you know, it was kind of like fun to find it once, but after that it was just like a little, you know, ridiculous to have that every single time. Okay, yeah, so it doesn't seem to damage if it lands on them. What? So, I don't know what I want to be maxing first. I think the max magic you can get is 160, so I should kind of use that as... Maybe it was 180 or something. Anyway, I don't think it was 220 like I originally thought, so... Maybe I don't want to be adding into magic just yet. Yeah, vitality's pretty safe. She has a lot of dexterity too, so... Maybe I'll buff that up. Actually, before I get to doing this, I should get used to saving again. Haven't been doing that in multiplayer really at all. So, stun threshold, I will probably get that. Accuracy, a lot of these things just can't be used. Armor class isn't bad, but... Yeah, honestly there wasn't a whole lot there. It really just comes down to probably if I want to use like a life regen or life and mana regen or something like that. I really don't know what I want to do. The attack speed actually doesn't seem too bad at the start, considering, I don't know, how much damage some of these ones can do. No, whoops. Try these explosive flasks. Maybe these guys. Not too many things take lightning damage on the first level, but... Okay, so that's very slowly does damage, but doesn't look like it's doing 21 to 40 damage. I guess it's over a long period of time. when I first took a look at the champion, the character, it really felt like it would be a lot easier to shoot the potions exactly how you wanted them. But it actually... Maybe it's just because they move slower through the air that it throws me off, but it really doesn't seem like it's that easy. I think I do like the acid flasks best. You're basically always gonna hit at least one thing, and you just gotta tail them around the whole level, so honestly it doesn't seem that bad. It feels pretty efficient too. Like normally you'd go and finish a whole room, but now it's like it actually makes more sense to do it the other way. And I also took a look at the base item list. There's quite a few, what do you call it? Flasks. Just base flasks. So I could see why multiplayer shouldn't have all these items being found. I mean, I did think there was a lot of flasks being found by me early on, but I don't know, that just confirms it. I think there's like 40 of them or something. 10 of each type, or maybe it was 50.
Fresh meat.
Wow, that's a lot of damage. I'm not sure if you can stack the effect. Like if I were to shoot 3 of these potions down at once, it just like triples like the damage I'm doing. Doesn't seem to be the case, so I guess I'll just play it conservatively.
The spirits of the dead are now avenged.
But with 40 different types of flasks to work with, it's gonna be a lot of fun. If I'm already like having issues right now, tossing all these ones, it's just gonna get even better. Especially on quest levels where you can like pin enemies in. Someone said that you can like trap enemies in place if you hit them with their like the fire ones or the lightning ones that make little rings. It looks like I just have to toss one and that's it, so... Eventually when I have teleport, it should be really, really quick to clear things. Well, I guess it shouldn't be like super quick, but it should be like quick considering I could do a whole level. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna try that on some more bosses. See if one potion is enough to just like kill it entirely. It's all just a waiting game. Alright, I guess I'll try it on this guy. See how far one potion brings him down. Okay, so it has like some kind of bottom limit on it. I think it displays it pretty well, actually. I'm trying to make it more confusing than it is, I bet. Not bad. I really want to put a point into Master Caster already. It hasn't been crazy, but I noticed the Butcher has been dodging some of my attacks. So despite the wording that's been confirmed by Mordor that chance hit with spells does work on flasks. Nitrogen, that could be good. After taking a look at the patch notes, I have this vibe that Mage is going to be, well, not Mage, Elementalist in particular, is going to be a little bit on the, like, overpowered side. Maybe not, but I mean, having crit with spells is awesome. 10% chance at level 50, I think it is. So all mages get that. That's something I'm looking forward to trying out. But on top of that, the Fury got changed for Mage. an Elementalist, so I think Mage is standard, like 2 spell levels, whatever DFE. But the Elementalist gets up to 5 spell levels at max level, so an extra 3 spell levels to play around with that's probably going to complete a lot of people's builds who like to run the, you know, level 50 spell levels or whatever it is build. I don't know, when I go to use it, I think it'll be reasonable to use it a little bit less. I remember when I was playing on Thehell2, I would use pretty much almost always Fury. Maybe not in like some crypt levels, but a lot of the times I would just use, you know, off cooldown Fury. Feels like with that much DFE that's going to be added to you, I probably won't be doing that on Elementalist as much. But it should also allow me to try out some new builds and see if fastest casting is really as, well, not OP as I think, but like if it should get nerfed a little bit. Right now I find my guy with like 28 spell levels to be way better off than my single player, the Thehell2 mage. Well, even multiplayer. Do I have a second? I do. And it does 1 more maximum damage, if that actually means anything. I guess I could take a wood shield for my offhand. Having the patch in place is great, probably for everyone on Discord, because probably like 5 times a week we get the question, so are any classes different than, you know, other classes, except for like, you know, their stats or something? And everyone just had to go through this long explanation of like, well, you know, the Iron Maiden and the Bombardier are different, but every other class is, you know, its own little thing. It has like small differences, but, you know, here and there. Now at least I can just, you know, forward the patch notes, and then everyone can be like, alright, this is what Mordor put into place. There. Don't have to explain anything. Nice and easy. Oh, I gotta have 30 magic for that? Hassle. Another reason I'm not playing an Elementalist instead of this character is there's gonna be a giant
I can't
wipe.
carry anymore.
I guess I should. Well, I guess it is pretty much a giant wipe. It is gonna be a wipe that just happens once the game is in motion at version 1.00. All the characters and your stash files just have to get wiped, so that there won't be a desync issue between all the characters. I think it's for multiplayer, but I couldn't quite make out the reasoning. But I mean, I'm pretty sure it just has to be done. It's not like, you know, Mortar would be like, yeah, I just want everyone to kind of like start over. It doesn't really like make sense for him to do that, so it's just one of those things. Just has to be done for the mod to progress. It's kind of like, oh, nice. Magic and dexterity for that. Okay. Could I do this? Probably. I think so. So yeah, with that big reset coming, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense for me to be like, well, I'm gonna grind out all the gear I want on my mage so that he's super OP. Instead, I'll play him for fun, like I would in, you know, the Hell 1 or something, but I won't go super hard to make sure he's all perfect and finished. And by the same token, I'll play this character, but I probably won't do, like, you know, all the mushroom quests and stuff. Like, there's no sense getting too attached to the character, but testing the character is important, so, you know, get him up to max tats, see how he plays endgame. It's good enough for me, but yeah, it won't be like my mage or my Iron Maiden. I won't go that hard. But I do intend to finish him. I mean, or her. It'll just take a while. Considering the way I play now, there's probably going to be a couple enemies at the end left. That's okay. I'll save a little bit of time by just walking through everything. It's kind of cool, you just poison everything. They're poisoned for pretty much until they're dead, and then you just swap over and do some extra fire damage. I don't know if that's a great strategy. You probably just have to deal with immunities until there's 3 weapon slots, which I think is coming eventually. Just have to keep enough potions, probably 1 acid, and I guess 1 fire? Yeah, probably 1 fire. I think there's gonna be magic flasks eventually, that'd be cool. Alright, so that takes 40. I'll probably back off now. Don't want to invest too heavily in magic, or I'll just find a bunch of weird items, I bet. Should probably get my strength up next. I was surprised that some of the multiplayer glitches got fixed. I think the item pickup one got fixed, which, I don't know, it's a pretty big deal for me because we played a 4-man gladiator run one day, And it was really, really annoying because every single time, you know, we killed a boss, it's like, okay, what items do you see? What items do you see? Alright, do you see any uniques? Alright, if you see a unique, then everyone else go to town. Then you pick it up. And it's just like, okay, well, we're all gladiators, so we don't have, like, the mana to be casting Town Portal non-stop, or even have the spell book. And on top of that, it's just like, it kind of feels not super cheap, because, like, you know, there's, I feel like more items should drop in multiplayer because there's so many, like, possible drops now. But at the same time, it's just kind of like, I don't know, you spend so much time doing things other than killing. Which isn't bad, but it's not, like, what I want to be doing. Like, I want to be in the fight. I don't want to be, like, safe scumming, whatever. But yeah, so it seems like it's pretty much matching the Thehell1 from what I can see. So, the Thehell1, there was some item desync issues in the Hive. That was about the only place that I managed to find it. But that's not really a big issue in my opinion. You know, one place isn't really that bad. And I mean, it wasn't totally unplayable either in the Hive. I know that I've killed a Defiler with Abusive Chaos, and I was able to pick up items, I think 2 or 3 times. The only time I wasn't able to was, what was the scenario? We were in a big fight. He was killing the Defiler, and I was killing a different boss. So I killed the other boss, the Bat boss. He dropped an Illusionist Mask. And then I wasn't able to I tried to pick it up, but then it just deleted itself. It poofed off the ground. So it was the only instance in, I think, Hives that really caused any concern. There was also, dang, it's breaking. $1932. Alright, less damage, but whatever. Box myself in there without even thinking about it. Got so laxy-daisy.
I can't carry anymore.
It's actually pretty hard to keep locked onto the target, and if you don't keep locked onto the target, it's not like not like a mage where you just fire in a straight line and eventually you'll hit the target, and not like a scout where the same thing. You could knock them back, but you just keep your line straight and all edged up, and you'll do the most damage. But this is a little bit trickier. $30 XP gain doesn't really seem that good, so go with the DFE. I don't really think I'll be using too many books until way late game. I might use Stone Curse, the Walls. I don't think I'd use Bone Spirit really, but we'll see, maybe. Oh, unique already. Very nice. Oh, they're Midas's Touch. Alright. Well, nonetheless, I don't think I've ever found Midas's Touch. I found, what are they called? 90%. I feel like that's a good roll. I found the gold wrap belt and the gold threads boot, but I've never found the Midas's Touch. So this kind of completes the little hypothetical gold find build. But playing Doom mode for, well, even just a couple days. Excuse me. Just find that gold is so irrelevant. It's not even an issue. And that's not to say, like, you know, it's super easy to, like, you'll always have enough to repair stuff, but if you just do, like, Defiler runs, you'll get, like, 15,000 gold from selling the gem every time. And it's like, if you really want to go after gold, you just do that. And all the efficiency that you would lose by using, like, you know, gold find instead of, say, making your runs go faster by it with higher damage and things like that. It's kind of unnecessary to make a whole gold find build. I tossed around the idea and I just thought, you know, it would be super, super fast, but I don't know, the more I think about it, the more I think it's just kind of a big waste of time. It wasn't really that bad for me because I just kind of made a level 13 mage. Gave him Serenity, got him to level 39, and just said, you know what, screw it. Anyone who comes into Purgatory, I'll just play with this mage. But XP gear has kind of ruined that whole process too. It's like, anyone playing in horror mode, it's like, well, why play in horror mode? Just get some XP gear on. It takes you, wait, before you even hit level 4, I hit level 25. It's really insane. Which is okay for me because I kind of like, you know, Purgatory and Doom difficulties. I'm not really a fan of horror too much. But, you know, I want to give this class my fair opinion. I don't want to skip by the early parts. I want to have some kind of basis for comparison.
Can't carry
Oh,
anymore.
nice town portal. Don't have to go to town for it.
I have no room.
Can't really fabricate the stats right now. Oh well. Maybe I should go back and just repair and clean up a little bit. Full of crap right now. Alright, I'll do that. Anyway, catch you guys next time.